Hi Chand. If I lose my H1B job unexpectedly, does the 60-day grace period start from the termination date or the last paycheck date? And how can I prove this timeline if USCIS ever questions it?
And again, this is also very, very important because a lot of companies pay severance or maybe they have some back pay to pay and they pay. And the USCIS rule is very, very, very clear. It is not about the pay stub. It is not the date your last pay stub came to you. It is the date you were terminated. The last date of your employment is the date you have to actually start counting the 60-day grace period. How would USCIS know about it? They can always come back and ask your employer, or your employer might because every employer for H1B, they have to revoke the H1B if you're not employed, which means they have a legal burden to go back to USCIS and report that your employment has terminated. So again, obviously they have to let USCIS know the last date of employment, not the last date of your paycheck. Not only that, in the future, you have to get an experience letter, you have to get a relieving letter because you need to probably use it for your I-140 or your DS-160 and so on. So it is always the last date of employment. And normally what people always do is they go to their employer, they always ask for a relieving letter or their experience letter. That will also clearly clarify the last date of work. And that is something what you have to use to count your 60-day grace period. Because sometimes what happens is just because you have a pay stub, you go and apply, and then USCIS down the line finds out that your employer, your past employer, they sent you a revocation note. They sent a revocation note request to USCIS notifying them that your employment has terminated. And then if you cross your grace period, you are at risk for getting an NTA, notice to appear, because this is what has happened to a lot of people. And if you get an NTA, unless you have proof clearly proving your last date of employment, you will not be able to prove it. So the bottom line is, don't look only at your pay stub, look at the actual termination date and use that to count your 60-day grace period.